All right, hello everyone. I am Sarah, and this is my horse Gunnie, and I will be hanging out with you at the moment and telling you kind of what we're doing here as we go through. If you hear any noise in the background, it could be my dog, it could be my work laptop having a conniption because it has a ball bearing going out in the fan. So disregard any noises you hear, but so we had already warmed up at this point, just so you don't think that we're like just running right into it. We'd already warmed up, and then I set the camera up. And so also, can I please point out how adorable we are that we match? Just saying. So So Gunnie was actually started jumping when she was 2.5. She's now 4. So when I bought her, she was newly 3. So she'd been jumping about 6 months. And I went ahead, bought her, and stopped her jumping. I didn't want her to ruin her joints. I wanted to keep her around for a while because she is just really a nice horse. She's fantastic. She's got a great brain. Athletic as all get out, and she looks fancy as hell. So we're doing a couple rounds of trot pulls on one side, and then we come around. That's kind of to help get me into my jump position, because I'm relatively new at jumping, as you can see. As you can tell, that's why I have my hand so high up, because I don't want to pull on her mouth. But I also know that I'll probably be... So a lot of the time when you see us come off of a jump, you'll see me readjust my reins. That's because I keep my hands really loose at this point to make sure that if she kind of pulls her head further than I thought she would, because she does have a super long neck, that she can take the reins with her a little bit, because, I mean, we're in a relatively small enclosure. I don't think she's going to run away with me. So that's kind of the reasoning behind that. I am personally working on it to make myself a better jumper. I originally started riding as a barrel racer. So I've been riding English. I had about 6 months of English when I was younger. And I wanted to jump when I was younger too. However, my grandma was the one paying for lessons, and so she's like, I prefer Western, you're going to do barrel racing. So couldn't really do much. As you can see, we are both sitting in front of the fan. This was taken a month or two ago, so it was still pretty hot. I think this was the beginning of August is when we took this. So we're both kind of sitting there huffing and puffing. So a little bit about Gunnie. She is a homebred Dutch warm blood, not homebred by me, homebred by somebody in Ohio. I bought her from a gal in Youngstown at the very beginning of the pandemic for $1,500. So this is a $1,500 horse, and she looks nothing like a $1,500 horse. She looks like a very fancy, expensive animal, which is great for me. I am very good at balling on a budget, as you can tell. So she is just... We're figuring out how to jump together. I'm figuring out how to jump, period, which, I know, to be fair, I probably should not be trying to teach myself how to jump on a baby, but Gunnie is really fantastic, and I'm doing everything I can to minimize damage to her while I'm learning. Yeah, so see how I, fall really far back there? I've had a friend of mine, she grew up as a hunter, and so she's jumped Gunnie a couple times. And she's even said that Gunnie will jump her out of her tack. So it's kind of nice that I'm learning on her, because I have a feeling that I would probably have a little bit of an issue if I learned to jump on someone that had more of a straight jump. She has a very rounded jump. If I learned to jump on a horse that had a straighter jump, I have a feeling that I would not be prepared for her jump, because it is very... That one was a silly... Also, no one come for me about my leg position. I know I sit with a very forward leg. That's part of when I was barrel racing. I'm very short. I'm only 5'3". And so when I was barrel racing to brace in those stirrups, I really had to push my feet forward to keep both my heels down and to be able to hold myself in the saddle. So at a young age, I got into a bad habit of sitting with a chair seat, and it is coming to bite me in the ass now. So that's what I'm doing right now, is like sitting comfortably in my chair seat on top of my knee blocks. So that's just a little bit about where we come from, since this is more of an introductory video. But she really is she's one of the most incredible horses I've ever met. I got her when she was 3. She's now 4.5, I think. And we have both taught each other quite a bit. That donkey in the background, his name is Charlie O'Donkey. He just goes by Donkey to everyone. Gunnie is a little bit obsessed with him. So because I come from a Western background, I like to really cross-train, even though I don't have a Western saddle for her. And so we will use the donkey for quote-unquote cutting practice. They've got a little fire pit area that's like, it's fine for him to go in, but because she's much larger, it's easier for her to like knock herself on wood and chairs or whatever. So that's our little fake pin that we'll cut him into, and she really loves doing that, which is a little funny to see this big fancy dressage-y warm blood like cutting a donkey, which we have to stop doing it for a couple weeks at a time because he's too smart, and he sees us coming and just runs straight in there. So at that point we have to wait a little bit, and then once he kind of forgets what the game is, we'll start doing it again. So this channel is really more, it's kind of a training diary for me in a bit of a way. Gives me an opportunity to rewatch my videos and kind of tell myself what I'm doing, and get a load of her gaits and see how they improve as we move forward, and see how my jump improves, because good God, I'm really bad. I'm really bad at jumping right now. But I'm staying on, so that's the main goal at the moment, is stay on, because she does really get upset if she loses people. She's lost me a number of times, so we had a really quick cut there because I'm using a pivot, and every once in a while the pivot will lose us for whatever reason. Sometimes we get too close to it and it just loses track of us. Sometimes it, I don't know, catches a stray horse ghost and decides that. So that jump was a little bit better. It was harder to see because of the light. Next time I do this, I'll have to put the jump by B and the drop holes by E, because like drop holes are drop holes. And like, so these look like really small jumps. We're just jumping over a little cavaletti, but to me they feel very large because she does jump up. At this point, we've been doing it enough today that she's kind of, she was going a little slower, like not overexerting herself over the jumps. But at this point, I'm also trying to ask for the jump as well. So instead of just pointing at her and letting her go, I was really trying to ask her. So like I asked her there, and she way over jumped it. Well, not over jumped, but jumped aggressively for me. So, and then I always tell her she's a good girl, even if I don't do a good job, because she is putting up with me bopping all around and whatever. So that's it for this one. This was a jumping video with me and the moose, Miss Gunnis Fire, and we'll see y'all around next time.